Namaste everyone. We're going to begin practice and be in practice mostly on our backs today. So go ahead, if you have a strap, grab a strap. If not, just grab a tie or a towel. So we're going to go ahead and come to line on our backs. Your feet are going to be flat on the floor. Your arms are going to be alongside of you. We're just going to center ourselves for a moment. Your feet are hip-width distance apart. Let your head rock from side to side. Kind of let some tension go from your neck here. Bringing your head to neutral, tuck your chin slightly, and just do a few little pelvic tilts here, a few little cat-cow stretches, or maybe think of it as rocking your pelvic clock. So if you had a clock that was sitting on your belly, facing up to the ceiling, you'd be rocking that clock back and forth, from your pubic bone to your navel, from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And then go ahead, just let your knees come side to side as you bring that clock to neutral. Just letting your knees swivel from side to side. Feeling your sacrum roll across the back or across the mat, so you're getting a little sacral massage here. Now bring everything back to center. Reconnect with your breathing. So we're going to take these long, complete yoga breaths here, breathing all the way in through your nose and all the way out through your nose, a minimum of 3 seconds as you inhale and 3 seconds as you exhale. Relax your jaw, relax your face, relax your palate. And then go ahead, when you're ready, float your feet off the floor, bring your knees to your chest, give your knees a squeeze and just rock them from side to side. And you might find that your head just organically goes with you from side to side. That's wonderful. Using the power of your breathing, the pleasure of your breathing to relax here. Now go ahead, bring your feet to the ground. See if you can find your strap, your tie, your towel, whatever you have. Draw your right knee into your chest and take the strap around the ball of your right foot, just gently stretching here. You can keep your left knee bent with your foot on the floor, or you can extend your left leg long. See where you feel more space here. Gently walk your hands up your prop, towel, strap, tie, and just pull that right leg towards you gently. So it's not an aggressive yanking. Your hands are not tight around your prop, they're loose, so it's not a white knuckle sensation. Just take a few breaths as you open your hips and hamstrings here. So a healthy back means healthy hips, and healthy hips are not just strong, but they're flexible, and hamstrings need to be flexible too. So we're working on opening our hips and hamstrings here, coaxing a little more length behind the back of your right leg. And if your left leg is straight on the floor, you're coaxing a little more length into the top of your thigh and your hip flexor. Again, if you need to move your head around or rearrange where your hands are, that's fine. Just take a few breaths right here. Relax your face, your jaw. And then go ahead, hold that strap, towel, blanket, whatever you got there in your right hand, and see if you can start to open your right leg to the right. You might want to place your left hand on your hip bone just to make sure that your pelvic bowl is not rolling with you to the right, that you're staying open in your pelvic bowl, that your left hip is heavy to the floor. Breathing all the way in, breathing all the way out. Center of your tongue is heavy, the bridge of your nose is heavy. Now you might find that gravity is going to pull that right leg out a little bit further to the right. That's okay, you can let that happen. Keeping your left hip down so your pelvic bowl stays open the whole time. You can turn your head to the right, left, or center. Just take a couple more breaths here, hopefully feeling that release of tension from your inner thigh, inner groin area. Now when your next exhale comes around, exhale and empty your belly and bring your right leg back up to the ceiling. Transfer your prop to your left hand, open your right arm to a T, and then let your right leg fall over to the left. Your jaw's relaxed, your face is relaxed. Everything really relaxed and easy here. Now you can take your right leg further to the left, but let's keep our shoulders on the mat. So your shoulders are heavy to the floor. You can look away from that long leg that's tipping over. You can look in the same direction as the leg. See if you can close your eyes and really invite yourselves in. Get that inward view. Just a few more moments here as both shoulders are heavy and equal on the mat. Finish your exhale. Feel your belly empty. Punctuate this moment with an exhale. And then inhale, bring your leg back to center by using your core, not just using the strap. Go ahead and let go of the strap for a moment. Bring your arms to a T and let the prop just dangle from your foot. Bend your left knee again so your foot's on the ground. Take the strap off and move it over to the left side of your body. Take your right leg and lower it halfway down until your two legs are even to each other. Take a moment here and just feel like there's a tennis ball between your two knees. So your thighs are even to each other. They're on a diagonal to the floor, about 45 degrees. Take a moment here, just hold this posture. It's not really that easy. Draw your left hip back to the floor and push energy out through your right heel like a bow and arrow. Your left hip digging back into the mat, your right leg stretching long out in front of you. Take a few more breaths right here, hoping to feel a little bit calmer in your mind now that you're deeply involved with this diaphragmatic circular yoga breath. Now take your right leg and start to lower it to the floor. Tap the floor a little bit with your right calf and then lift that calf up an inch so no part of your right leg is on the floor. Set your hands behind your head. Elbows are wide. Keep your right leg hovering. Keep your left hip anchored like that bow and arrow. And then slowly tuck your chin and float your shoulders off the floor. So think about your shoulders and your chest coming up. Your right leg is still lifted. Your chin is slightly tucked. Close your eyes and invite yourselves in. The more that you can close your eyes, the more likely you are to trigger the relaxation response. See if you can drop that sternum down to your navel. Point your right toes. Slowly lower your head and chest down. Slowly take your right knee and bring it into your chest. Circle your hands around. Reach for your knee. Reach for your shin. Let your head drop side to side. Now keep your right knee into your chest, but just set your ankle on your left thigh. So you're making like a figure 4. Draw your arms around alongside of you and float your left foot off the floor. Now this might be enough of a stretch. You might weave your right hand through your thighs and lace your fingers up behind the belly of your left thigh. If that doesn't feel like enough of a stretch, take your hands and lace them around your left shin without dropping your foot down too much. If you find that you're straining in your neck to create any kind of bind, then back off a little bit. So you can either lace your fingers up behind the back of your thigh, around your shin and knee, or you could always leave your arms out to a T. Your hips might want to naturally, organically rock from side to side. Coming into a reclined pigeon here. Sipping the breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Notice how your shoulders are not only relaxing away from your ears, but they're also relaxing into the mat. Now you might lean to the left ever so gently. And that way you'll feel hopefully a little more stretch in your hips, stretch in your low back. So you can't really separate a healthy spine from healthy hips and supple hamstrings. Notice that your mind is getting a little calmer. Maybe those busy thoughts are starting to evaporate. That perceptual screen, a little more blank than busy with ideas. Finish your exhale here. Feel your belly just soften into your back and your back soften into the floor. Come back to center if you've tilted over, and then just extend that left leg to the ceiling. So you look like a number 4 upside down. Draw that whole unit towards you. Maybe circle at the ankle. Take your right leg to meet your left leg. Bring your arms alongside of you. Go ahead and bend your right knee and step your right foot on your mat. Now hopefully your prop is next to you on the left. Just bend that left knee and see if you can take the strap around the ball of your foot or the Not so much the arch, but that thick band of tissue below your toes, and just coax that leg towards you. You're teasing it towards you. And you might feel like you want to move your head and neck around when you're stretching out your hamstrings. That's okay. Try to stay connected to your breathing though. So wherever you're at, you're really focused on sipping the breath in through your nose and out through your nose, breathing all the way in and all the way out. And as you feel your hamstring start to cooperate with you, you're pulling that leg towards you. Relax your jaw, relax your face. Every time you exhale, you might feel your right foot deeper into the mat. Now you may have also chosen on this side to extend your right leg long, which could mean that you're opening your hip flexor and the top of your thigh is settling down. So remember, when we pull on our prop, it's not a death grip, it's not something tight in our knuckles. We're not trying to move tension around. We're trying to let the tension from our bodies disappear. So we don't want to push it from one place to another. See if you can float your left leg closer to your face. Your chin is slightly tucked, and there's a little gap between your neck and the floor. As you breathe in, your belly's going to round out, creating a dome shape. As you breathe out, your belly's going to empty to your back to the floor. Go ahead and take the strap in your left hand. Take your right arm to a T. And then see if you can start to open that right leg, or the left leg, excuse me, to the left. Now your right arm, I suggested a T on the side, but you could also return your right hand to your hip. If you notice that you're starting to teeter over to the left and your right hip's coming off the floor, then definitely put your right hand to your hip. You can take that long lever out to the side. Just see where you're at this side. Side A and side B might feel very much the same. They might feel very different. So we're not assuming anything. We're just being present with these sensations as they are at the moment. Breathing in and out through the nose only. So you're sipping a long breath in through your nose. Feeling that breath brush over your upper lip as you breathe out. You might even notice that one nostril works differently than the other. So there's many ways to connect with your breath. The sound, the touch, the feel, the length, the vibration. Now before you bring your left leg to center, exhale completely and bring that left leg back up to the ceiling. Transfer your prop to your right hand, extend your left arm out from your shoulder in a T, and then just take that left leg across your body. When you start to feel your left shoulder is going to come off the floor, you've gone far enough. So we want to keep both shoulders heavy on the floor and equal to the floor. Avoid allowing your shoulders to swallow up your neck. You want your shoulders to feel relaxed. And as soon as your mind relaxes, your body will follow. So that's why this breath work is so important to create this quantumous mind, this calm mind. We're alert, we're awake, we're aware, but you're calm. So you might find that the longer you stay here, the deeper you go into your rotation. So when we create a healthy back, we have to create this healthy environment by using our breath, by coming into a quiet space, by allowing ourselves to move our spine in all the directions Mother Nature has provided. Finish your exhale, really empty your belly, feel your navel melt away, and then use your core to come to center rather than using the strap too much. Bring that left leg back up to the ceiling, pull it towards you. Let go of the strap for a moment, just let it dangle from your foot. Search for the ceiling with the bottom of your left foot, like the circle of your heel is searching for some part of the ceiling above you. And then go ahead, take the strap, just take it off, bring it off to whatever side is convenient for you. Bend your right knee, press your footprint to the floor, and then lower your left leg till it's even with your right leg. So your left leg is even to your right leg. Draw your right hip back like a bow and arrow, so you're pulling The bow back, that's your right hip. And the arrow is your left leg. There's about a fist distance between your knees. Your left ankle is flexed and your toenails are curling in towards your shin. So maybe inhale, draw your right hip back, and exhale, send a lot of energy from the top of your hip to the circle of your left heel. Your head might rock from side to side here, that's always fine. And then very slowly, like your leg is moving through honey, lower your calf to the mat. Maybe tap the mat for a moment, and then lift your calf off the mat and just hold here. Gently take your hands behind your head. Keep your elbows wide, draw your abs in. Again, your hips are even to the floor, so your left leg is just hovering. Tuck your chin slightly if you haven't already, and float your chest and shoulders off the floor. So you've made a big tray out of your arms and your elbows, and your chin is tucked. You made a tray, and your head is sitting heavy into that tray. Your left leg is hovering off the floor just an inch. Without letting your belly round out too far, only when you inhale. And then as you exhale, melt that belly to your back and your back to the floor. Now finish your exhale, point your sternum down towards your navel, and then lower your head, neck, and shoulders to the mat. Point your left toes. Take your left knee, bring it into your chest. Reach for that knee with your hands, and then rotate that knee out. You're using your hip joint to take that knee to the left. Set your ankle somewhere on your right thigh. Bring your arms alongside of you. Now this might be enough of a stretch for some of you. Some of you will have to bring that right foot off the ground. So your right knee is bent to about 90 degrees. You might weave your left hand through your thighs and lace your fingers behind the back of your right thigh, your hamstring. That might feel like a good stretch. You might have to reach for your knee, like right where your knee and chin come together. Feel free to kind of shift your weight to the right a little bit, and that should allow you to stretch your left piriformis a little bit more. Take the pressure off these hips right here, so bring some stretch and space into the hips. Our hips are great storage depots for stress and tension, sometimes our past issues, so really want to see if you can let go. Maybe think about every exhale, letting that stress and tension fall away. Again, you might want to move your head a little bit from side to side. That's always fine. And then if you have tilted to the right, slowly come back to center. Start to lengthen your right leg, lace your hands behind your right thigh. Maybe circle through your ankle. If you are circling, go both directions. You can always point and flex. Release your bind, bring your arms alongside of you. Take your left leg to meet your right leg. And we're coming into candlestick. So your heels are together, your toes are apart. There is a lot of energy in your legs as your thighs spiral out. Try to keep your tailbone heavy on the mat. Tilting your head like a little seesaw side to side. Take a few breaths right here. Breathe all the way in and all the way out. Now rock your hips so your thumbs can tuck underneath your hip bones. Point your toes and bring everything together. So zip your two legs into one leg and slowly start to bring your legs down like your legs are moving through mud all the way to the floor. Keep breathing in and out through your nose only. And then once your heels make it to the floor, release your arms. Stretch your body super long so you're reaching over both ends of your mat like you're being pulled by your ankles and your wrists at the same time. So feel this generous opposition here. Now, as you exhale, you're going to draw your right knee into your chest. Circle your arms around, nose to knee. That's your exhale. And then as you inhale, extend everything long. Exhale, draw your left knee in, knee to nose, nose to knee. And then inhale, extend long. So creating a little bit of a flow here. Exhale, circle in, nose to knee. And then inhale, stretch long in two opposing directions. And exhale, bring it in. Now, if your neck is kind of sore and that's not going to work for you, just keep your head on the ground, that's okay. You can circle your knee in, melt your back to the floor. Think about getting as long as you can. And then as you exhale, tuck into a little ball. So we're going as far as we can in both directions. Inhaling, exhaling. One more time on the left side, and then we're going to try double arms, double legs. So go ahead, take a big stretch here, pointing through your toes. Feel the opposition as you're being pulled in two different directions. Now try to roll both knees into your chest, float your shoulders off the floor, nose to knees, and then extend everything nice and long. If you find that this is over much, then you can always go back to single knees. You can always keep your head on the floor. There's always options. But see if you can stay with this full, complete yoga breath here, this diaphragmatic breath, relaxation breath. So the more we can breathe in and out through our nose like this, the more we're going to relax the nervous system. The more relaxed our nervous system is, the less stress we have. We know that stress is a great influencer in our overall health, but a lot about our back issues are related to stress. Now the next time you tuck your knees into your chest and circle your arms around, go ahead here, hold yourself into a little ball. And then go long again over the edges of your mat. It should feel good to stretch like a big morning yawn. Keep your legs really long and strong. Slice your arms to the ceiling. Tuck your chin. Push down against your sacrum and come all the way up to seated as you reach for your toes. Paschimottanasana. So finally we've made our way to seated. Breathing all the way in and all the way out here. See if you can rest your chest to your thighs. Slowly come on up, and we're going to make our way to a seated straddle position. So your legs are going to be wide as you're comfortable. Walk from side to side, lifting your hips back and forth. And go ahead, take your arms up over your head for a moment. Open your arms to a T. Rotate to your right a little bit, and then side bend over your left leg. So go ahead and just see if you can draw that top shoulder back. Relax your head and neck. Both sitting bones are heavy and equal to the floor. Feeling a stretch in your side body. You should feel pretty warmed up, so we're ready to be in this side bend. Now stay to the same side and rotate from your hips and your ribs. Take a hand on either side of that left leg and just fold forward, nose to knee. So we've gone from like a big side bend to a forward fold. But even within this forward fold, there's a little bit of rotation as your left ribs come up and back and your right ribs come forward and down. Relax your head and neck, circle things out a little bit. Now finish your exhale completely and inhale, slowly roll it up. Take your arms to a strong T. Feel the aliveness in your arms. Rotate to your left a little bit. Holding here for a moment. Feel your tall spine. And then go ahead and side bend over your right leg. Draw that top shoulder back. So your left shoulder is spine twisting open. Your head is relaxed. Breathe all the way in and out. Breathe deeply into your side body so you feel your ribs swell with your breathing. So every inhale, you're creating length, you're creating space. And every exhale, just walk into that space. Breathing all the way in, all the way out here. So maybe go a little further. Maybe when you feel your body start to open, you're going to go a little bit deeper into that space. Now take all that side bend with you, all that lateral flexion, and roll it into a forward fold over your right leg. So you're rolling forward over that right leg, nose to knee. And as you're folded forward into the long right leg, draw your right ribs back and up and your left ribs forward and down. Always okay to move your head and neck around. Both hips are equal and heavy into the ground. Your hamstrings are melting into the floor. Relax your toes. Relax your tongue so it's not pushing up against your teeth or the roof of your mouth. The bridge of your nose is soft. Forehead is wrinkle-free. Very slowly, use your hands to walk yourselves up. Open your arms to a T, and then just bring your hands forward. Make a little like animal claw out of each hand and draw the pads of your fingers towards you. So as you pull the pads of your fingers towards you, your heart's gonna come forward. So you're pulling back with the claw of your hands and you're lengthening forward from the bottom of your heart, like there's a hook at your sternum. And then go ahead when you're ready, soften your elbows towards the floor. They may or may not touch the floor. You're going in that direction. Your head is relaxed. You can give your head a shake, a nod, whatever feels good to you here. And then relax your palms so your wrists are heavy on the mat. So you flipped your palms over, rest your shoulders away from your ears. Maybe walk your forearms out a little more now that you're there. You may have found that there's a little more space. Feel the rise and the fall of your back body. See if you can reach out one more time. Just loosening that grip from your low back and inner thighs. Flip your palms back to the floor and use your palm prints to walk you up. Now slowly bring your legs together. Use your legs and zip them up. Bend your knees, plant your hands behind you, and just gently float your hips off the mat for one reverse table today. Let your head float into the flesh of your shoulders. If that is too much of a strain on your neck, then bring your chin forward. Lift your hips out so you're in a true tabletop position. We root to rise, so ground through your palms and your feet. Whatever's rooting on the ground is going deeper. Whatever's floating up is floating higher. And then slowly keeping your hands on the ground, lower your seat to the mat, extend your legs up. Now you can keep your knees bent, you can keep your legs extended, you can extend your arms into boat pose, breathe all the way in and all the way out, your shoulders are relaxed. If you need more support, hold behind your thighs. A little less support, arms further away from your core. The further away your arms are from your core, the stronger your core becomes. Take another breath or two here. Keep your heart lifted and forward. You can always soften down onto your elbows. And then go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together for Baddha Konasana, letter A. So sitting up tall here, let your shoulders melt down. So we haven't hinged forward yet. We're sitting tall, soles of your feet together, knees open up to a butterfly. Now Baddha Konasana, letter B, you keep your spine long and you pull your chest forward. A few breaths right here with a longer spine. See if you can tilt forward a little more as if you're reaching out of your pelvic bowl. Your neck is relaxed, your jaw is relaxed. And then you're going to slip your hands underneath your shins and calves and coming forward into the tortoise posture. Let your head relax, round your back like a tortoise's shell. And really start to focus and make that very, very important connection to a full, complete yoga breath. If you've lost it, come right back to it. Your head may want to move around again. Total relaxing here. Let your muscles be a little more passive, working towards the connective tissue of the body. Breathe all the way in and out. You can always option for a different hand position. Try to allow the soles of the feet to stay connected. Shoulders are away from your ears, so we're not creating tension. We want to untie knots, not tie up new ones here. This is where you really want to exaggerate your inhales and exhales. You actually feel the power and the pleasure of your breathing as your back rises and falls. Couple more breaths here.